You! Yes, you! I see you in there. Stop that at once. It's time for Chironius TV. I am your delightful host, Chironius, the sleeping giant of Twitch, and with me is Couchman, the very seat of evil itself.
I still love this sleeping giant of Twitch. That is amazing to me.
Well, thank you. I am quite amazing.
I hate you.
Speaking of amazing, we've got an amazing podcast set up for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I have toiled all of our putting together this presentation for tonight. No, like today, literally, well, maybe like yesterday. It is technically Wednesday. You should have all filed your taxes, and that's exactly what I was doing. And it took me...
good Lord.
It took me way too much time to get done. And by the time I did, I really had to crunch.
Oh, thank God. Are we fully okay?
The headphones are coming off.
Yay. Yay, that's my favorite. Everyone knows it. My favorite. See, I love what you take the headphones off. Now you put them back on. You lying prick.
I'm double checking.
You're such an a-hole. See, now I have to put my glasses back on. See, that's you take your headphones off, I take my glasses off. That's my equivalent.
Well, don't worry, Couchman. I think we sound great.
Thank
so,
God.
Speaking of great, let's get into it, folks. How was your time without us? How was your Monday? What was left of it? No, that's right. Monday we sort of launch into Minecraft and then it carries over into... How was your Tuesday?
Our Monday was good. We killed an Ender Dragon. Well, yeah. I did. You suck.
Couchman, you did spectacularly. You earned that blade, by the way. That is now Couchman's blade.
Nice.
The blade of Couchendale.
The blade of Couchendale.
Some elfin Lord of the Rings style name. I'm sure. Much as I know you're a huge, huge fan of all things Lord of the Rings.
J.R.R. Tolkien. He's my boy.
That's
J.R.R. Muffin Top. I don't know.
That's not even a name. Couchman. He's got. Well, not he specifically, but there is a Tolkien book on the way out. We talked about this last week.
Right.
I just thought I'd bring it up again for Shoots and Ladders. I'm sort of like I really want to read it just out of curiosity, but like at the same time I have trepidations like maybe it's not going to be good because it's sort of like an unfinished project of his and like even he didn't like it.
Wait, what? He didn't like this?
No. I have no facts or information on that. I literally know nothing about this.
Oh.
I just know that they're going to publish a new book based on the Tolkien universe.
See, this is something like I subscribe to a certain reading subscription tool. This is something I would actually get on that because I feel like, especially if this is like the first me jumping into this world, every single character is going to have the same voice in my head and all this other nonsense.
This is the first time you've read any of the... This would be the first time you've read any of the books?
Yep.
As if you read this one?
Yep. I've never read...
No, then read The Hobbit.
No.
That's where you got to start, man. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because that's officially the first book in the Rings not necessarily the Rings universe, because as it happens, we totally didn't plan for this.
I was gonna say this is off the cuff, right?
But who cares? A lot of people seem to be under the impression that The Hobbit is a prequel. It's not. The Hobbit the Hobbit predates the Ring trilogy. It was only later that it was they sort of lined it up. He sort of lined it up in the later books.
Oh, so like at first he was like, okay, I'm just gonna write a whole bunch of stories, and he's like, you know what? If I just say this, they all line up. Sweet, let's do that.
And here's the thing: you could totally have only ever read The Hobbit in your life. Not to say that you shouldn't read the Rings books, because you absolutely should, but you could have only ever read The Hobbit, and that would have been a beautiful way to be introduced to Tolkien's style. So absolutely, Couchman, if you do decide that you want to enter the Rings,
you said do.
I did. We'll laugh about that later. Then start with The Hobbit. It's my favorite novel of all time, and subsequently the animated movie based on it is my favorite movie of all time.
Really?
Yeah, I've said this before.
I know you've said this before, but I'm always so shocked when you say that. But this is my only issue with it. As mythical creatures, I guess I purely hate hobbits. I hate them. I think they're dumb.
I mean, granted, they're not elves, they're not dwarves.
They take too much limelight from dwarves.
They're not space marines, but they are simple, and that's the whole point. Yeah. The whole point of the first novel is that Bilbo is a simple homebody. Tolkien sort of created them as like a parody of the perfect stay-at-home individual. The tenderfoot, sleepy-eyed individual just stays in all the time, and then along comes Gandalf and gives him that neat little nudge out the door, and he gets whisked away.
Get a job, son. I mean, let's go on an adventure.
Yeah, get a job, hippie.
Get a job, hippie.
But it's so enchanting. It's
oh, I bet it is.
It really, it's just like it's such a well put together story, and it's. Like I said, because it's so self-contained, you could literally only read that and you'd be fine. You would still...
Let me ask you this. I know this is so off the cuff, but if you could have anybody read it to you, who would you want to read to you?
If we could somehow resurrect John Huston,
Ooh.
the man who did the voice of Gandalf in the animated feature... I would want him to read it to me, because when I read the book, anytime Gandalf talks, that's Gandalf's voice.
Right. Just, I mean, that's very similar to when I read like a DC comic and Joker. It's Mark Hamill.
And don't get me wrong, I love Ian McKellen's performance as Gandalf. Believe me,
Sir Ian McKellen.
Sir, yes, excuse me, Sir Ian McKellen. I love Sir Ian McKellen's performance as Gandalf. But deep in my heart of hearts, that soft, gentle place hidden away behind the hard, cold exterior, I will always remember John Huston as Gandalf, and it'll always just fill me with glee hearing him opening up the tale of Bilbo Baggins and his journey into the world that he's just not prepared for. I mean, and that's so relatable. We all go through that at some point in our lives. We're thrust into a world we don't understand. You know, everything's warm and cozy. Then all of a sudden, it's cold, and you're crying to go home to your bed.
It's cold. A tall man is taking me to the moon, and he said, "Edit monkey, go."
There's a scent of chloroform.
And a hint of lavender. That was quite nice, I must say.
Yes. I've built quite the little structure of impervious broadcasting, haven't I? And speaking of structures, Castlevania, everyone's favorite dark and evil keep, is on its way. Grimoire of Souls is the name, and it features such fan favorites as Simon Belmont, Maria Renard, and Alucard, the son of Dracula himself. The story, of course, seems to center around what else? The return of Alucard's. I said it again, Couchman.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're having fun with that one, huh?
Alucard Peace's father, Lord Dracula.
You said cod piece. This is gonna be a fun broadcast.
It is.
Everybody.
We're already off to a bang-up start. The game will be a 2D side-scroller, much like its cousins, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. And, of course, the end-all, be-all for most Castlevania fans, Symphony of the Night. Where it falls on the timeline with all the other games, I'm not entirely sure, but the inclusion of Simon Belmont tells me that it's probably a prequel to some degree. You know, Couchman, Dracula's been resurrected so many times, I can't help but think it's a chronic affliction for him. Almost like it's a drug.
Do you think it's a drug, or it's such a pain in the ass for him, where he's like, just let me die?
No,
Can I just sleep?
I think he's hooked on it because, like, he's always into the idea. I mean, apart from Ganondorf and Ra's al Ghul, I can't think of a single character that's been revived from the dead more than Dracula. I think at this point...
Ooh, that's a great question. Okay, you keep on going. Let me think of this one.
I was just going to say, they need to seek group therapy. Hello, my name is Dracula. Oh, wait, no, I got to do the Symphony of the Night. Hello, my name is Dracula, and I'm addicted to resurrection. Hello,
Megatron.
Dracula.
Megatron has been resurrected.
Has he?
Yeah, a lot of times.
I mean, you got Ganondorf, and as I mentioned already, Ra's al Ghul.
Right, I was trying to keep away from those two.
Megabyte.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. He only got only the once. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ. He'll be like at the head of it. Is like, learn from my example, children. I only did it once.
It's the Last Supper of resurrection people.
Also die, vampire.
Also die, vampire, you unholy bastard.
I mean, Jesus only did it once, but you guys, seriously, you're hooked.
Right.
Who else? Who else is on that list of? Because, like, I just threw that list together off the top of my head, but really that does pose a good question. Who got resurrected the most?
That has to be a list that already exists.
What villain has been resurrected the most? And I'm talking directly resurrected, as in his corporeal form brought back once more, multiple times. Not like different incarnations in alternate universes. Okay, not that. I mean, I guess no. You know what? Doctor Who, or the Doctor, probably holds the record.
Oh, you're probably right.
For most times resurrected, at least in one series.
That's kind of like, that's almost breaking your rule, because there is like different. It's a dimensional thing, and
Oh, hell if I know, and I don't think they know either.
hell if I know.
So I'm just going to go ahead and count
else.
it. I think he's the record holder for most times resurrected.
Right.
But speaking of resurrected, an issue has been resurrected from the past. The King of Kong, Billy Mitchell, has been deposed, according to multiple sources. Twin Galaxies, the organization in charge of keeping the Donkey Kong record, has officially stated that he is no longer the record holder. In a recent video, he issued a response declaring himself innocent of all allegations that he was cheating. Couchman, do we have that video or no?
Oh, do we have that video? No, I didn't know.
Oh, that's
there was
okay.
a
That's
video.
okay.
Oh, my bad.
In the video, he simply states that the allegations are untrue and that those who claim that they are using, quote, shock jock tactics. He goes on to say that he wishes he could show you the proof, but he can't yet. He is purportedly putting together a video evidence to be presented at a later date. Just for the record, Billy, we wish you luck. If you are indeed innocent of cheating, we're not shock jocks. In fact, we're trying to move away from that on this show, sort of.
Why are you looking at me?
No, I'm guilty of it too.
Right.
We're just reporting the stories as they come to us and offering commentary. We have no desire to see anybody falsely accused of anything.
You know what my issue with this is? This dude can be 100% innocent, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's still... You know a little bit more about this guy than I do.
I honestly, until recent weeks...
Right.
I haven't known a whole lot about him other than he was the Donkey Kong world record holder. That's the thing. You think I'm a gamer, so I should know that, but it's like, no, I just really like playing video games a whole lot.
But, like, this is the thing. He's sitting there and, like, basically saying, hey, I'm going to have some video proof of it. blah, blah, blah. That basically says, like, hey, I'm still at the top of my game. I can still go do this stuff. Why? A place like a service like Twitch, a service like YouTube, I think would be calling this guy 24/7 saying, let's make a damn event out of this. Let you do it again. You broadcast it live on our stuff. That's my thing. It's so simple to do this stuff live. Why are you giving somebody a video? That can be tampered with. If you do it live, you're doing it live.
I would probably say, yeah, just do a live broadcast.
I was going to say, I'd watch that. That'd be cool.
I like how you slipped in a picture of Garrett Bobby Ferguson.
You like that? He's
doubt
crying because they took his his stuff away from him.
Honestly, Couch Man, I was going to say the same thing. Really, that was more or less what I was building towards. It's like,
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It shows that we're on the same wavelength, and most people are. I think. I mean, most people have been saying, "Hey, why don't you just do it again? You did it once,
right?" I mean,
maybe for old man games, we should play Donkey Kong.
You see, now I want to know what the record was. What his record was.
It was in the. I don't have the actual number in front. It was like 11. Is like 1,550,000 somewhere in that neighborhood.
You see, like I want to go for it on.
There's no way you or I are doing it, but I mean, we could try.
I single-handedly beat the Ender Dragon in Minecraft. I think I can do this.
Oh my god, Couchman. Don't even.
I mean, have you seen the Couchenberg?
Good lord. Yeah, see, now there's your Gamergate thing. There's your expose. Couchman, the Couchman scandal revealed. He did not beat the Ender Dragon by himself. any more than we didn't establish our spawn point right there in the stronghold. You were like so utterly convinced that we didn't do it.
I'm still utterly convinced we never did it.
You
just
go
ran
back and
really
watch
quick.
the video. I literally watched it today. Very clearly, we respawn at that point.
You did some video
or at least
editing.
I do. Yep, I tampered with it. Damn it, you caught me. No, you know what? I'm going to do my due diligence, and I'm going to release a video with all the materials. I'm sorry, Billy. I'm not actually making fun of you. Like I said, I don't know what the full story is. I'm not gonna. I mean, Twin Galaxy seems pretty convinced. They're straight up. He's no longer the record holder.
Well, I mean, not only that. Like what you've told me is that Guinness has ganked him.
Yeah, they're
like it's actually a thing now. So like they basically said like the dude cheated. Like there's until he is proven innocent, he cheated.
No, that's not how it works in the American justice system, Couchman. It's innocent until proven guilty.
Well, apparently that's how it works in video game justice system because they just ganked everything he just did.
What does gank mean?
They took away.
I honestly don't know what it means.
They took it away. They snatched it from him.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Just play the game. Play the game.
Yeah,
I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does for a career or whatever. But if this is still
he shows up at conventions.
I mean, that might be his career. If that is his career, what do you think the freaking Nintendo would want to get behind this? Any streaming system would want to get behind this, not just the big ones.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say that would make for a good follow-up movie for King of Kong.
Right.
A redemption story about the master, disgraced, seeking to reclaim his honor. I'd have to see the original movie first, though, because honestly, I don't know.
But this is the thing. I mean,
either
way, you're 100% right. I wasn't even thinking that. I was just like, for a pure broadcasting standpoint, this dude could make bank on this.
Yeah.
He really could. Even if he fails, even if it turns out,
seriously, he turned that place out.
Yeah. Either way, he turns out just banking out. But you also throw on, like, hey, they're doing another King of Kong 2 on this, Redemption of Kong or whatever.
Yeah.
Freaking, that's amazing. oh my God, the money this dude would be rolling in would be ridiculous. He could go and buy some more American flag ties. That's the only thing I've seen him wear.
And like, if I couldn't do, he's gonna buy a lot of American flag ties. If I were him and I couldn't redo it, I would just bow out great. I'd take the money that I made from hosting the event, and then I would just bow out gracefully and never be seen again.
Oh, right. Right. I'd be like, nope, but I couldn't do it, but all you idiots sat there and watched me, and everything else, I'd throw the peace sign up, be like, hey, whatever, see you later. And
there's no way people aren't gonna watch it. That's the thing. Damn, we got to get on the ground floor of this one. We got to reach out to them. It's like, hey, listen, you need some people to MC your event. We're totally down.
I will only come if you also give me one of your American ties.
I want an arcade machine. I'll be satisfied.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Give me an arcade machine. I've always wanted one.
You see, now that would be even cooler. You see, that's why it needs to be an event. They have to figure out a way to put a legitimate arcade cabinet of Donkey Kong on the middle of a stage, WWE lights going crazy and fireworks and all that stuff. He comes out, stands on it, Jumbotron,
bam, bam, bam,
boom,
bam,
and that's all you do. I think that'd be the coolest thing in the world.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Oh my goodness.
That's like the go-to walkout music for me. I know everyone else's is John Cena's thing, but like seriously, when I think wrestling, I think Hulk Hogan.
Oh, you see, you're just a sexy boy, sexy boy.
I'm not your boy toy. Oh, it's so stupid, but it's so great.
Oh, it's the best thing ever. This is the best music. That's the best walkout music. The best thing about it is that he sung it himself. Yeah, that's him. That's HBK singing. Like, that's the best. He thought that was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh Lord, man, Billy, I hope you're watching this. I hope you're taking notes, man. We're trying to help you.
I understand. I'm trying to get you paid. I don't care about helping you. I can get you money.
You cheated, and it's like, yeah, that sucks. But hey, it would. Well, I mean, I don't know if you actually cheated, but if you cheated, yeah, that sucks. But it's like that's water under the bridge at this point. I'm seeing an opportunity to capitalize.
Right.
I actually did have a conversation with someone earlier who was talking about this particular subject. They were like, "Oh man, did you hear that crap about Billy Mitchell?" I was like, "Man, what a loser!" It's like, grow the f up, dude. And it's like I could see where he's coming from. This mysterious person. We'll call him Mr. X.
Right.
Mr. X. I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, high scores are important to a lot of gamers. That's kind of part and parcel with the culture, if you will. It's not necessarily like sacred, but it is important.
He had a world. That's the problem. No. Mr. X, I don't know who you are. I might have met. Have I met Mr. X before?
No.
No. Okay. Don't know you. Take it personal. I don't really care. You don't know what you're talking about. This guy, if I'm telling you right now, if me, if Tyronius, if your mother was the best in the world at something and was the best in the world at something for the longest time, and then they sat there and said, yo, you're not the best because you cheated, it's personal. Whoa. I'm gonna go flying. Like, I don't care. Even if I was the best at, if I was the best at
wearing hats,
jumping rope. Let's say jumping rope, and I'm 70 years old and in a wheelchair. Believe you me, I'm gonna try to train. I'm gonna be like, no, I gotta go get my title back.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's personal now. That's my thing.
There's just something 80s about this whole thing.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's like we're talking like some Karate Kid stuff right here. I'm interested to hear his side of the story. I've followed his Twitter,
What is his Twitter like? Does he have a blue check?
I think I'm pretty sure he's verified.
God, I hope he's verified.
I didn't even think to check, but there's just like a lot of photos of him at conventions playing Pac-Man and stuff.
Right.
It looks like fun, but hey.
Right.
But no, yeah, Mr. X. Scores are important to some. They're not important to me. I don't know about you, Couch Man.
No, I mean,
because they're not important to me because I can't really get a high. I'm not really good at getting a high score. It's like I can finish the game.
you see, this is my issue. You know me. I think the people of this channel know me. I'm not good at games, but if there's a game I'm good at,
it's not Minecraft.
It sure as hell ain't. Well, unless it's killing the Ender Dragon, then I'm the champion. But like, okay, one game is Madden. I don't care. I'm better at you than Madden. Bring me the reigning champion of Madden. I'm better than him. I don't care. I do not care.
Well, I want to see you put your money where your mouth is, Couch. I mean, like right now we can't do anything about it, but I swear, if we find a way to actually, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Oh, that's fine. No, the instant the new Madden game comes out, because this is the thing. Like I'll find the way I'll find all the cheap little plays, and I won't use them either.
Oh boy.
Like there was like 3 years where the AI didn't understand how to guard a tight end just running straight, and if you just aimed the ball a little to the left, and if you had the right tight end who was like a better catcher than normal, he'll just fall and grab the ball. So like I'd be chucking 50-yard bombs and it doesn't matter because my tight end's gonna go get it.
Wow. I didn't understand a word of that, Couch Man.
I know you didn't.
I'm still just fantasizing about like the actual Madden champ coming at you.
The dude's a D-weed.
A D-weed, is he?
Yeah, he's a big old D-weed.
Oh man, that sounds like you need to put him in his place, Couch Man.
Oh, I'll make him call me Grandpa. I don't care. I'll put him over my knee.
I full on want to make a training montage video of just you playing Madden, getting ready, wiping the sweat from your brow. I'm wearing the sweats, the track sweats or whatever.
I just see you more like Saturday Night Live, the Finns. You just have the mustache and the big aviator glasses, eating hot wings, going the Finns.
Oh, that would also be me. I was thinking more like the Rocky training montage, but that works too.
There'd be a lot of ball scratching in it. We're gonna need a montage.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ball scratching right now. Actually.
Yeah, right. No, but hey, I hope Billy. I hope Billy. I really just want to see this a live broadcast. That's all. I don't wish him luck. I wish him the common sense to make money off of this.
I want the truth to be revealed. Right. If he comes forward with his side of it and it's a convincing enough argument, like, hey, listen, here's this video or here's this live broadcast that proves that I didn't cheat, right. And like it turns out, oh, he didn't cheat. It's like, okay, then that. Or if he did cheat, it's like, yeah, he's a dirty bastard cheater.
He's a dirty bastard cheater, and he has all the monies.
I don't hate trust me. I don't hate the man personally. It's like, but for the poor bastards who were trying to get that high score. Well, for them, I feel. Right. Well, speaking of feels, I'm sure we all get the feels whenever we see our favorite grandfather of the superhero universe, or at least the Marvel one at any rate, in any kind of distress. Over the break, Stan Lee released a video denouncing allegations that his daughter was abusing him and demanding money. On a related note, Couchman, remember a couple of hours ago when you told me that idiots would claim he made that video against his will?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I found one. It took me like 5 seconds. All I had to do was put Stan Lee in the search bar, and already there was like a guy who was like, "Oh yeah, there's definitely something shady going on." It's like, this is no surprise. Everyone has an opinion, and it seems that most of the time they like to assume the worst. I personally do not know. As far as I'm concerned, it's strictly a family problem to be handled within the family. Idle speculation and baseless accusations aren't going to help anyone. The man says there isn't a problem. That's good enough for me. Until actual evidence surfaces that proves otherwise, I'm not going to speculate. It kind of begs the question: just because someone's a public figure, does that mean that you have to have a magnifying glass on their personal life?
Of course.
Oh, yeah. I guess that answers that then.
Hell, that's been the case since 2012.
It's 2012, just 2012.
I think that's when it like really blew up, right? Where
Right.
everything was so dissected, and everyone needs to know everything about this person or whatever, right? And
Listen, Couchman, the lizard people are out there.
yeah, right.
And they're trying to get Stan Lee's fortune.
Okay, if I'm not gonna lie, if somebody came out and if it came out that Stan Lee was a lizard person, I'd be like, totally makes sense. Dude's like 100 and bajillion years old.
I knew it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't care. I'd be like, he did great stuff. I don't care. He could be freaking, I don't know, a muffin.
No, but I do resent the idea that if none of this actually went down, people are just saying it went down anyway.
Right.
It's like, as far as I know, all we have as proof is some article that was circulating on the internet. It's like you can't actually verify that, can you?
No.
So really, it's like I said, the man says that isn't happening. So I think you just kind of got to take it as it isn't happening.
I could sit here and say, Chironius hits me,
Oh,
and there's no proof of it.
that's gonna sound good on the mic.
That sounds great. Ow, that kind of hurt.
Maybe don't do that again.
Yeah, maybe don't do that no more. But no, even during this like confession. No, that's not right. State of the Union?
Public address.
Public address. Thank you. During this public address, he does bring up the whole. It sucks. It sucks that we're in a day and age where anything that has legs on the internet will run crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And there's absolutely no, like, I was never called or my agent was never called to confirm or deny this. It was just something people ran with.
Right, and that happens all the time.
Right. I think, and we're broadcasting right now. We're broadcasters, right?
Of course. We're entertainers.
We're entertainers for sure, but even entertaining, we're not just going to sit there and all of a sudden say, "Oh, Stan Lee actually had a twin all along, and Stan Lee died 30 years ago."
Oh, jeez.
Like that'd be a crazy story, right? But
it doesn't mean it's true.
It doesn't mean it's true, and that you could sit there and spread that around like crazy. Still doesn't mean it's true. And we actually have to do some research.
I said, yeah, exactly. And again, it's also possible, although it seems remote to me, that he actually was forced to make that video. But I don't want to say one way or the other. But like I said, we have video evidence of him saying that's not the case. This is 2018 America. Really unlikely that he's being held at gunpoint, and nobody would know about it.
Well, you see, I thought this was all true, right? I'm not going to lie. I thought this was true, but I thought he was saying this about Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
Disney. Holding him captive.
It's not hard. It's not hard to imagine. We like to imagine us little
Stan Lee, read this.
We like to imagine that the rich people live these lives of intrigue, sex, murder, and blackmail. I guess I get it. It just gives us our jollies. But that's why I play video games and read comic books, because like I can project that on a comic book character or a video game character, and who cares if their life is ruined?
Right. Well, apparently a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. Well, wait a minute.
yeah. Give us a second here, folks. Now I'm just imagining sex, murder, and drugs. The Stan Lee story coming 2020 to a theater near you.
But I mean, that's why I don't like to talk too much about real world situations, is because it's like if I'm wrong about that, that's actually a real person's life I'm affecting. If I'm wrong about something that happens in a video game or something stupid like that, it's not a big deal, because it's not gonna cause any problems. But when it comes to actual people, actual things like politics, the economy, it's like you really got to have your facts straight on stuff like that.
Right.
We're in a convenient position, you and I, since we're just entertainers.
Right.
So but when you're a journalist, you sort of have, when you consider yourself a journalist, you have an obligation to get your facts straight.
Exactly.
It's just like you can't mess around there. We can.
Yeah, seriously. At this point, we could say Stan Lee eats people. Who cares? He's gonna be like, who the hell is KTV?
I still hear his voice in my head from back in the day of the first PlayStation 1 Spider-Man video game.
Oh.
He narrated the thing, and I always thought it was hilarious. My favorite part being when you get to the warehouse level, fighting those pink symbiotes. It's like the cliche CD waterfront warehouse. It's just like,
right.
Has that distinctive voice.
I love this is the other thing. I mean, can we just let this man live the rest of his life?
Yeah, I know. Seriously, he's made his mark on the world.
Yeah, he's made. Not only that, he's an old man.
He's like 90 years old.
Yeah, he's 90 years old. I don't want to, where's some knock on wood, right? But he's closer to the end than he is the beginning, right? Can we all just agree with that? Remember that one thing we were talking about 2 Mondays ago? You're like, yeah, I don't ever want to bring something up, and then the next week,
right? Yeah.
Right? Here we go.
Yeah, let's
knocking
not.
on wood, right? But do we really want this?
Yeah, we don't want this to be his memory.
The end of his memory. I mean,
to be fair, at least if he goes out now, he's the victim in the scenario.
He'd rather be the bad guy. It's his daughter.
Yeah, I know.
He'd rather be like, I was beating her. I don't care.
Yeah, it's okay if you hate me. Yeah, God, that's some really rough stuff, and it's kind of paining me to talk about it. So let's move on.
Right.
Let's move on. Speaking of rough stuff, you have no doubt seen one specific image on the internet, and I'm talking about
Dragon Boob Z?
This specific image that you should be seeing right now. It's been making its rounds on the internet. Naturally, people are outraged by the shocking lack of faithfulness to the source material. The actress, I saw a, I don't know if it was a tweet, it was more just like a social media post of some kind. The actress playing Starfire came out and declared that the image is not accurate to the final product. I like to think that more than likely she's right. And after special effects and makeup are added, the characters will more closely resemble the characters we've grown to love. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. As is so often the case these days, I am almost completely numb to any artistic liberties taken to comic book characters. However, I can put myself in the shoes of a younger Chironius and think, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed. As with our discussion about Venom, I believe that the cravings of our inner child shouldn't be ignored. However, for the adults in the audience, I ask that you resist the urge to send death threats or harass these people. If you really want to send a message to them, just don't watch it. I know I won't. Good Lord. I mean, seriously, I didn't even know that they were making this. And then I saw this image, and I thought maybe it was just one of those things where people took random photos and brought them together. It's like, look who we found. We found the Teen Titans in real life, y'all. Hashtag hilarious or something. Followed by the laughing, crying emojis. That's what I was expecting, but no, it turns out it's actually the on the set photos.
Right.
As for the people in charge of production, I know you guys are kind of stressed out right now, but what did you think was going to happen? Did we learn nothing from the bat nipples? Or from the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider? Or the entire cast of Suicide Squad? You've got to have the right look. They did it for The Watchmen and for Sin City, and those movies are pretty darn great in spite of not being my favorite graphic novels. Why is it so hard to take these popular things and put them on the screen? I actually do have some theories to that, at least as far as Starfire is concerned.
Ooh.
I mean, apart from studio influence saying, listen, you got to make it look like this or we're not giving you the money to do this movie or show. Really, if you've seen the pictures of the old Starfire, the original Starfire,
right.
It's 2018. Women are apparently not allowed to look sexy anymore. So it's or depending on which side of things you fall. I don't know. I'm not Mr. Politics. It's obviously, or otherwise I wouldn't have said something like that. But yeah, there's no way that it wouldn't go, oh, look at them objectifying this young female actress. It's like, yeah, but she looks like that in the comics. You know, fans who are reading the comics, they don't particularly care. Also, I think like most of the people who are outraged are more thinking about the Cartoon Network show Teen Titans, and that's what they're hoping to see. But it's like, if you could see the originals, you probably wouldn't be so keen.
Right.
So it kind of they don't meet either standard, really. It's more like some weird, awkward middle ground. I don't know, Couch Man. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay. Let me put this statement out there first. I could really care two you-know-whats.
2 squirts.
Yeah, 2 squirts. Perfect. 2 squirts about the Teen Titans. I didn't as a kid. The Cartoon Network show was good, but I was like, I'm waiting for Justice League. I don't care. Even though it was already being rerun and rerun and rerun. The Teen Titans never really thrilled me as a comic fan. This is the problem with this. Yes, it has a huge following. Yes, this is a lot of people's like first introduction to these characters. Just the picture that we have here, right? The Raven, Beast Boy, and Starfire. Let me just go through this. Raven, I don't think that's horrible. What else? What were you gonna do?
I don't know. Give her the hood.
I mean, I think she has a hood, just the way her jacket is. But regardless,
her costume is pretty minimalist. Honestly, it's a hood and a one-piece bathing suit.
Right.
Boom, you've got Raven. At least from the cartoon show that I recall. I'll be honest. Wasn't all that into the cartoon show. It was too anime for my taste.
Right. So, it was an American trying to be super anime.
It was like so obnoxiously anime that I just I could not get into it. I know it had its serious moments, but it also was really, I don't know, just those moments that took me right out of it.
Right.
I didn't know what I was supposed to be feeling when I watched it, other than an awkward attraction to Raven.
I know, right? Isn't that funny? Everybody says the same thing. Like, she's the hot one. Well, she's half naked. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I liked me some Starfire, but really, I was all Raven's my type, dude. I like the dark and mysterious girls.
Right.
But really, all joking aside, I wasn't that into it. But like all my friends were.
Right.
And I can only imagine how they're reacting to this photo. I have been seriously. I can't turn around without finding this photo on Facebook and Twitter and just all the angry people talking about how much this sucks. And a part of me sympathizes with them. A part of me says, you guys are acting like a bunch of immature idiots. But I mean, how often is this going to play out before we finally change the routine up a little bit and actually just give the people what they want? Give them the perfect image that they had of these characters. Well, I mean, we made no strides toward that at this point? Or is it always going to come down to, well, that company owns the rights to that particular Harley Quinn costume, so we can't put her in that. So we're just going to have to go with slutty cheerleader hot topic babe.
Right. Okay. To go on what you just said, even when they do get it right, they have to trip and fall. The most reliable and close to the source comic book superhero, whatever, Deadpool, right? We can all sit there and say, hey, looks exactly what we wanted him to look like, and he acts pretty dang similar. Me, because I've read his comics and everything else, there's a few things story-wise that pissed me off, but whatever, cool. A lot of people love him. But we had to get the crap first. We had to get the mouth sewn shut and everything else.
But we get a lot of crap, Couch Man.
No, we do get a lot of crap.
A lot of crap.
It takes a guy or girl or whomever with money who's an actual fan to deal with it. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised, especially like this is like my age group. Like my age group grew up with this. And this is supposed to be, I think this is the CW, like the only way you can watch this is through their streaming service. Like this is going to be their thing.
The fans were pissed when they went to Teen Titans Go.
Right.
Because it was so babyish.
Right. I mean, I don't know how this is going to sell on this streaming service that they're going to put this on.
And I really don't think this is I don't think this is A-game material. I don't think this is going to put the CW streaming service on the map, folks.
But this is the other issue.
Probably Constantine will.
Constantine will be good. Constantine will be good.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
From what I saw.
And I guess that's the other issue too. It just it sits there and it does the same thing you always know. DC rocks out when it comes to animated stuff. You can't do a dang thing when it comes to live action.
I feel like that's such an unnecessary and negative stigma brought on just by poor decisions made frequently. Like, it's almost as if it's been tinfoil hat time. It's almost as if they've been cultivating this. It's like, okay, we're not going to be able to compete with Disney in the live action market. Let's just convince people that animated's the way to go. I don't know. I mean, honestly, guys, Disney owns that too. Or maybe it's corporate espionage where Disney is just sort of sabotaging DC and making it hard for them to actually put something worthwhile in live action on the big screen.
You see,
that's what my mind immediately leaps to, even though I know it's probably not the case. The simplest explanation is usually the most true,
right?
And that being that just bad calls all around. It's a bad call, corporate BS. You know, it's like this company owns that, the other company owns that. It's like how Sony owned Spider-Man for the longest time.
Right. You know.
And that's why you couldn't get Spider-Man in most of your overrated Marvel movies.
Right. And that's the other thing. I don't even think, like, this is the thing. It's not that long ago. It hasn't been too long where DC ruled the roost, where they cranked out shows like Teen Titans, Justice League, and then they threw something called The Dark Knight on the screen.
But that's animated. I'm talking about live action. I'm talking about live action
The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger?
Oh, okay. Heath Ledger. Oh, well, that was Joker. Christian Bale was Batman.
Yes. Like, that trilogy...
Yeah, it was cool up until the third one.
Well, okay, yeah. absolutely, I 100% agree with you there. I couldn't stand the third one. But like, there was a time where DC ruled the roost. Something happened. To tell you the honest truth, what I really think did happen was...
It was Iron Man.
Not only... Batman was kicking Iron Man's, titanium can all the way around when it came to
but like at that
the
point,
first two movies.
By the time Iron Man came out, they had really hit their stride. So it's like, okay, we know what works. We got the right formula. We fill people with hope. And I think maybe that's where they've kind of gone off the rails in the DC universe, because like they're these current movies like Batman versus Superman or Man of Steel, and so it's like they're all kind of dark and gloomy.
Right.
It's like that's why I always pound in your heads the mantra: darker does not always equal better.
Right.
Superman is supposed to fill you with hope. I mean, hell, that's why Wonder Woman's so successful, even though she's the worst DC character of all time. Her character fills people with hope. Like you were telling me about those little girls just crying their eyes out seeing her make public appearances. Right. So it's like, yeah, it's because she fills them with hope.
Right. That's still one of my favorite. I know everybody loves the sad Ben when they're talking about Batman v Superman. My favorite Ben Affleck moment was they're at Comic-Con. All these kids are coming. Is all these little girls coming up to Gal Gadot, just saying like, crying, saying how much they meant to her. And all of a sudden, this little boy comes up, and he goes, Batman fan, goes right to Gal Gadot and starts weeping and goes, "You're so cool. You do so much. Like, you helped me through this or that and everything else." And Ben Affleck is just there going, "Why am I doing this? I could be retired."
To be fair, if I was a kid and I didn't know who Ben Affleck was, because like I'm a diehard Batman fan, even though there are things about Batman that I don't like.
It sounded like
it's like one of the best things about Batman is when he's wrong, because like because he's usually walking around like, yeah, I got this. My contingencies have contingencies. And then he's taken out of his element where he's horribly wrong. It's like, oh crap, that's how you know things have gone belly up. But there are also moments where he's wrong in his cynicism,
right?
And he doesn't know how to process that. It's like we need to bring hope back. We need to bring light,
right,
and happiness back. We can't constantly dwell on the sad, on the dark.
Right.
You freaking people.
Right. Well,
it's like, ooh, let's bring back the Power Rangers, but this time make it darker. Ooh, let's bring back He-Man, except now he actually kills people. Or ooh, let's bring this back.
That could be actually pretty.
Yeah, now I think that would actually be kind of cool. Scratch that one.
Scratch that one.
That's a bad example.
Let's put a pin in that one. All right, Hollywood.
Scratch that one.
Scratch that one. Hardcore He-Man.
Let's bring back Chowder, except he goes to prison and has to shank his way to the top.
Chowder, as in like the cartoon.
Yeah, the
network?
cartoon show.
Oh, I actually know about that crazy cartoon.
That show's adorable. I love it. It's so charming to me.
What was it? I love the last episode where they just kept on saying like, we don't have enough money to like animate this or something. like I think the last episode is them like in the middle of a blank page, and it's just like, all right, we ran out of money. Goodbye, folks. I was just like, whoa. That's really cool. But no, you brought up what you really love about Batman when he's wrong and everything. There's an awesome comic, and it just came out this year, and it actually goes through that. It's like Batman just made the wrong call. Like, he was totally wrong about something and everything else, and it was like he hasn't slept in like 7 days and everything else, and he's leading some sort of Justice League like mission, and he just F's up like hard, and it almost brings like the end of the world. And he just kind of goes like at the end of it, he's like, I need to go to sleep, and I quit the league. Goodbye. Like, that's the end of the comic book. It's actually really cool.
That's funny. I'll tell you what's not funny, though. I actually did get a chance to read, like, an issue of The Bat Who Laughed. Man, that was dumb. Am I the only one who wasn't impressed by that?
Oh, Dark Metal?
I guess.
The S&M
Joker
looking Batman.
Where he gets Joker intoxicated.
And he kills the Bat family?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta...
It's stupid. Come on.
You wouldn't... You're taking one character and saying the storyline's stupid. The storyline's fantastic.
Does it go anywhere, or is it just constantly everybody dies?
No, it goes somewhere. But this is the thing. It goes through the whole, like, multiverse and everything else, and then it introduces the dark multiverse and... well,
I mean, this is what I'm freaking talking about, Couch Man. It's always on the downbeat. You know, that's such a focus. It's like, come on, people, get out of the damn gutter already.
Yeah, but like the way he has to go and defeat it is actually really upbeat.
If you say so, I'd be willing to.
No,
give
you don't need to read like.
I'd be willing to give it. No, I'd be willing to give it a chance.
You need to read the
knowing
entire
that it
thing.
goes somewhere.
Right.
Like it has to go somewhere. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not above a dark storyline. You know, not everything has to be sunshine and smiles for me. It's just it has to go somewhere. I can't sit there through a constant like. It's like a goth poetry slam. Death, 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 murder, darkness. You know, it's
razor blades.
It's like I knew that kid in school and I hated his guts.
I knew that kid in school. I hated him.
I don't even know why. It's the thing. I hang out. I hang out with a lot of people because I can do that. I'm a social chameleon. I can pretty much blend in any group, and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But man, just like the constant pessimism is insufferable.
I don't know. They're good for a good laugh.
Well, yeah, but at a certain point, you just get sick of it.
Right.
You know, and speaking of insufferable and getting sick, I think it's about time we go for a break.
Alrighty.
And when we return, we still have more loser news and gossip, as well as a debate between me and Couchman. That's right, we're having it out tonight.
Ding, ding, baby.
On Kyronia's TV. Stay tuned, more to come. What's that bad taste in your mouth? It's Kyronia's TV.
Ew.
I am your host, Kyronius, and with me is Couchman.
Why would you... What? The slumbering giant of Twitch is so much better, and that's how you... Oh.
Well, we're in hour 2, Couchman. That's when things really start to get bitter. That's when the real crap comes out. This is
Obviously. Good golly.
This is when we've had a few, and we're just cussing at each other for no reason. Bringing up past grudges, like, hey, is that time that you borrowed my bike and you never returned it? Damn it! It just is like, yeah, I'm glad your marriage failed. That's,
wow.
That's what,
talking about going dark where you don't need to go dark.
Seriously, I went really dark there.
Are you hangry or something? What's going
think
on?
so.
You had a little.
I had a little snacky snack
Yeah.
before hour two. No, I'm bright and chipper, guys. I love you.
I love you guys.
I love you all.
Your marriage.
I'm dead inside,
I'm dead inside.
but I love you all.
Oh.
This is Kyronius TV, and just a friendly reminder: if you missed any of our past broadcasts, like I don't know, you didn't show up when you totally should have, you can find them archived either on here or on YouTube. But remember, they're only on Twitch temporarily, and then they get dumped into the YouTube wasteland where we store all of our past broadcasts. Well, the good ones at any rate. Although, honestly, Couchman, I don't think we've been doing too bad lately. I've been kind of proud of them, and I haven't been discriminating. I've just sort of started uploading all of them.
Really? Even 2 weeks ago, Minecraft?
Maybe. It might be on private, and I haven't gotten around to editing it yet.
Wow.
Folks, I don't have an editing team. It's just me and Couchman, and both of us are too damn busy. Yeah. So if things come out a little slow, you know why. Yeah. But don't be shy to tell us what you think about it. Hit us up on social media, Twitter at Mayor Kyronius or at Couchman with a 0, not an O. Also, check out our Facebook page to receive updates about the show, where we're going, where we're headed, what's the meaning of life. I don't know, all these things you can find linked right here on the page. I cannot make it simpler, folks. I just can't. I really tried. But speaking of really trying, they're coming up with a new color for the Lantern Corps, Couchman.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, the Ultraviolet Lantern Corps is coming to the DC Comics, according to comic book resources. And they will be using Jon Stewart as their guinea pig for this new force, this new color-based force.
Right.
I know we sort of talked about this. When your character is a primary color, really that's kind of the inevitable direction it's going to go. We're just going to go ahead and branch out into the other colors of the rainbow. To that end, I present you with the other multicolored Lantern Corps: green, yellow, red, purple, pink,
orange,
plaid.
Okay, if plaid was a color, that'd be amazing.
The plaid Lantern Corps.
The plaid. Dude, that would be the hipster corps?
No, they've all got Scottish accents.
Oh,
bloody.
That'd be awesome.
We've got to stop them from invading.
You see, I was really against this. Now you've talked me into it.
I know. So I just sold you on another OC. The plaid lantern. But from the looks of the promotional art for it, it kind of looks like it's going to be bad news for the Justice League. I'm kind of seeing like characters like Wonder Woman racked with pain, and as much as I don't like Wonder Woman, I don't like to see her suffer. So I guess Jon Stewart's a bad guy now. I don't know. I haven't read any of the comics.
Really? So that's going to be the new Jon Stewart's going to be a bad guy?
I don't know. That's all I can judge from the art that I saw.
See, I wish you would have sent me all this stuff. I have all these like pictures going on and like all this other stuff. Well, I'm more interested in like obviously each one. Red is rage, orange is greed, yellow is fear, green is willpower, blue is hope, violet or like this purple color is not hope, it's compassion.
Compassion.
And pink is love. Right?
Right.
What in the world is ultraviolet gonna be?
Darkness.
Just metal. See, this is like I'm totally fine with I don't know. I don't think I am totally fine. It's always been the 7 cores or whatever, and they go out. Like I'm not gonna lie. My favorite one is green, orange, because there's only one, because everyone just killed each other for the rings, and he just loves all of his own crap. And his name's Larfleeze, and he has it's the stupidest thing ever. But there's a Christmas comic with him. And he gets really obsessed with, like, no, all those, like, Santa, that is my presents and stuff like that. And, like, Jon Stewart not Jon Stewart, Hal Jordan is sitting there, like, going, because, like, this is how it works. For how large the core is, that's how, like, there's only a set amount of power. So, like, they're all equal in power. It's just how they wield it.
Right.
So, like, Larsley's is stupid strong. Like, he's a total joke character, but he's super strong. So, like, everybody just, like, lets him be. So he's sitting there going, like, how do I explain this to him and not try to, like, crush him? And he has this list, and it's, like, a mile long of, like, stuff he wants, right? And then there's this really sad and touching moment at the end where he goes, you know, Hal goes, well, did you get everything you wanted for Christmas? And he goes, yeah, and then he, like, looks at the list, and the last thing is, like, you don't really know anything about Larfleeze, and just goes, my family.
Oh.
And he goes, well, ugh. And I'm like, oh, I want to see, like, give me more Larfleeze, but he has such a bad book that nobody wants to write for him. But I still love him. He's my favorite Lantern.
Man, sounds like that's the one that needs to be written.
Right? It was totally just, like, laid down. Like, here's a nice little gift for everybody. You could make a really tear-jerky story with this.
I feel like younger me would be super into the idea of an ultraviolet lantern. At any point, introducing, like, a new color of lantern. Whoa, new colors, new possibilities. Right. But I don't know. Now I just kind of feel like it's too much of a good thing.
I don't even think it's, like, a good thing. There's so much, like, stupid stuff. Like, the blue one, the Hope thing is so stupid. Like, their little gimmick is cool where they basically, they're super peaceful. Mm-hmm. And they amplify the powers of, like, another core.
Peace.
Right. So, like, you'll have, like, a Green Lantern go grab a Blue Lantern, so, like, they get a buff.
Oh,
basically.
Man.
Like, this is my thing. I really don't understand how this hasn't become, like, you want to know what? Here you go. DC, drop the movies. Here you go. Make Fortnite, but with the with the frickin' Lantern Corps, and each thing does its own crap. Like, Rage is super low on health, but it, like, just does a whole bunch of crap. Willpower is your, you know, paladin. He's the mitter where everybody can do whatever. Love can be whatever, but, like, Blue can be your support character.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. I just made.
So explain this to me, Couchman. Have the different Lantern Corps always been around, or was it like something that just sort of spontaneously happened?
I'm trying to.
Because I recall.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying to remember the.
I do recall reading
name.
the one where the Scarecrow got the yellow lantern ring.
Oh, give me it.
Wonder Woman got the love ring.
Right.
I remember that. But, like, I was a little, my memory is a little hazy on it.
See, I'm trying to remember what his name was, but there was this, okay. Regardless, I'm so sorry I forgot your name, but he is, the way his comic book run with the Green Lantern was just explained, or how people, like, would mention it was, if God was writing the Green Lantern stories right now, this is what it would be. Like, he did so much for the Green Lanterns. He's the guy that brought in all the different spectrums, but, like, there always was green.
Like, canonically, were the other corps always around, is what I'm trying to ask.
Canonically, I mean, he retroactively put them in.
Okay, that's more or less what I was going for. Okay, well, I wish I was more of a comic book guy. I feel like
you would really like the Green Lanterns.
And it's
the Green
funny,
Lantern books you'd like.
It's funny how often I bring up comic books as much as I'm not really all that into them. It's not as if I don't like reading them. I do. It's just the stories have gotten, as far as the DC and the Marvel things, they've gotten so convoluted. I feel like I can't really jump on and get invested, knowing that there's all this other stuff. It's like I slept through the last few classes of history, and now we're all the way up to the Roman Empire, and I missed out.
What the hell happened? No, that's a great way of putting it.
Or it's like when you're playing Age of Empires, and your enemy is all the way up to like the freaking nuclear age, and you're still banging rocks together.
Oh god, you want to see me be useless at a game? Freaking put me in front of that thing.
Oh god, man, no. It's another reason why I'm not part of the PC Master Race.
You'd cry. You'd cry seeing how I play that game.
Well, speaking of games, Couch Man.
Oh, Lord.
It's about time we... This is actually on you, because you were very eager to bring this up, and I'm more than happy to accommodate, because you know my thoughts on the subject. I'm talking, of course, about everybody's favorite nostalgia circle jerk, Ready Player One.
Even that's incorrect. It's not everybody's favorite circle jerk.
It's not?
It's not. I don't know why it isn't. I think everybody...
You mean to tell me that just basing an entire movie on, hey, remember this, hey, remember that, would backfire somehow? Surely you jest.
In today's day and age, yes. I can't believe that.
Yeah, Couch Man, I never would have saw that coming.
No, not this. But this is the problem. Not this early. And especially not with this movie. I think we sat there and said it, where this is going to break all types of stupid records.
I don't think I ever said that.
Ooh, I want to say we said that multiple times.
I said that all I've really ever said is that I have no intention of seeing it, because it looks like it's just going to be an entire session of, hey, remember this, remember that. And it's like, I'm sorry, that just isn't enough to get my foot in the door.
Right.
Also, you know my thoughts on the whole VR movie genre.
What?
Like you know, your favorite show, Reboot.
Right.
Speaking of which, I saw the little non sequitur here. Yeah. I saw a YouTube personality, goes by the name of Wooly. His channel is Wooly Versus, and he actually did a much more in-depth analysis of the reboot, and he was saying much of the things that you were saying, Couchman.
Really?
Yeah, he was talking about how it meant a lot to him because of the fact that it was so cutting edge for its time.
Right.
You know, it was the promise of future technology for entertainment and what have you.
Right. And
but I'm still of the mind that I will never fully appreciate this genre where it's like, let's watch a movie about someone playing a video game. But then again, I don't much like Let's Plays either. I just do them because people seem to like it.
Right, no, but this movie came out at a time where I don't understand why it couldn't, there is nothing, demographic-wise, I think it hits everything it was trying to hit. And again, this is coming from a guy who hasn't seen it yet. I just can't believe, right now it's only made... It's been out since the beginning of this month. It's midway through the month. It's only made, $400 million.
Darn.
Well, compared to how much it cost, compared to how much they sat there and advertised, I don't even know if they broke even. I don't think they have, or if they have, I guarantee their projections of how much they were going to make in the first month, they're nowhere near. I never heard on, YouTube, Twitch, or anything else, number one movie in America is Ready Player One. Ready Player One is an instant classic. Great to see everything we knew as a kid, blah, 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 blah.
I think, really, Couchman, you could chalk it up to the fact that a lot of people are getting fatigued by the only 90s kids remember this mantra. I mean, really, how often do you go through Facebook and I know you don't go on Facebook much, and more power to you, my friend.
Thank you. Very proud of that, I'm not going to lie.
But like every other post I see is, if y'all don't remember this, we can't be friends, and it's freaking cat dog or something. And it's like, I didn't even like that show that much.
I like the intro. The intro was good.
It's like, yeah, I remember it. I didn't like it that much, though. I mean, I didn't hate it. I think another example would be Rocko's Modern Life. I didn't much care for that one either. Pretty much like a whole list of Nickelodeon shows where it's like, oh man, I remember this. And like, I really think people are sick of it, especially the kids. The kids have got to be tired of their parents talking about how great freaking...
Oh, God, I never even thought about the kids.
I know, no one does.
Think about the children's.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Dude, Cher would be so disappointed with me. Or no, Janet Jackson. What was the children are our future? Who sung that?
How the hell should I know?
I think that might be Cher or Janet Jackson. Either one of those two.
One of those.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, no, the kids have got to be sick to death of it. And it's like, Dad, please shut up about Hey Arnold.
Shut up about Hey Arnold.
Yeah, well, that Pokemon game you love so much, that was my generation too. Ah, damn it, Dad.
Okay. I just realized one of these ships on the poster here. Mm-hmm. If you look right above the Iron Giant, what is that ship?
I can barely make it out, Couchman, on my screen here.
That's the swordfish from Cowboy Bebop.
Is it?
Yeah, it's totally what that is.
I can't really see it too well. I'll take your word for it.
No, but...
Is that a 90s thing specifically?
No, that's more like an 80s thing.
Just got Tinder, where we sliding?
Excuse me?
I don't know. Some random comment from someone named Blob Show.
Just got Tinder, where we slide. Always right. You can't say yes enough, man.
I'm kidding. Blob Show, you've been on here before, I'm pretty sure.
But
there's just so many of you.
But no, this is just, it's so surprising to me that this has not resonated to the point where I think they wanted it to resonate. This was supposed to be like, I mean, they even timed it up. They're like, hey, we don't want anything to do with Infinity War, so we're gonna come out like a month and a half before, get all of the monies, and then they're gonna come back for Infinity War.
Well, like I said, Couchman, I think it's just kind of out of touch.
Let me ask you this: good or bad? Is that good or bad?
What, that this didn't do well?
Well, no. Well, I don't know. That the whole, like... Because this really is, how did you put it? The 90s wank fest that it was. Do you think it's good that something that is sitting there and saying, hey, the biggest gimmick in this movie is going to be, hey, remember that. Hey, remember this. Like, just the nostalgic kick. Do you think that's good, or do you think that's bad for Hollywood?
Do I think it's bad that people aren't into the nostalgia kick?
Well, yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. Do you think it's time for it to go away?
In a way, yes. I mean, I don't think we should ever lose track of of the things we love. Of course not. No, we should, by God, keep it close and treasure it. But at the same time, I mean, we're all getting a little sick of it.
Right.
And it's like, at least as far as reboots and remakes are concerned.
Especially reboot.
By the way, Blob Show, you're not just one, you're a special one. Sorry, I had to address that real quick, Couchman.
Very nice.
Oh God, don't bring up the reboot.
Your favorite.
Oh my Lord, that was a trying ordeal going through that whole thing.
Ugh.
I really definitely enough with the remakes, enough with the reboots, enough with the unnecessary sequels. It's like let's delve into what's new. Let's move on. Let's stop trying to resurrect the past like some sort of shambling horror.
Right. Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what your answer to this is going to be, but this comes back to whatever your definition for remaking or rebooting is. Amazon has the streaming rights for the Rings and Hobbits. They're going to sit there and make a series much like Game of Thrones and that type of, production element to it, retelling those stories.
Of the Hobbit?
Tolkien.
They're actually doing this?
Yeah, Amazon's doing this.
Now, when you say Game of Thrones style, do you mean with a bunch of butts and boobies and peni?
Maybe?
Because if that sounds terrible. But if not, well, we'll see. Really, I honestly think we should stop using Game of Thrones as a baseline for how we do our fantasy. I mean, we suffered this malady back from the Conan days. Every fantasy movie had to feature swords and sandals. And then, of course, along came Lord of the Rings, and bam, every movie's got to be Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say, but I feel like even now, fantasy still has to be Lord of the Rings.
Maybe so.
Because you said, you're saying it's more Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones, the instant I watched it, I was like, this just reminds me of Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Hold that thought, Couchman. We have a viewer comment regarding Ready Player One. Okay. You have to remember, there wasn't just old references. There was Overwatch characters, Pokemon, and a whole bunch of other things. Even if that's the case, Blob Show, fact of the matter is that when they were running the promos, the top featured characters and things were things from like the 80s and the 90s, like Iron Giant, the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It was really their biggest selling point. And furthermore, Pokemon
is 90s.
That started when I was a kid. So it's
like Overwatch is just
that's there
the
because
hotness.
That's there because they knew the kids would be falling asleep in the theater. So it's like, okay, let's throw them a bone.
I mean, still,
at least that's my theory.
Even if that's so, regardless, it's remember that the movie.
Yeah. Remember that. That's the best way to put it, Couchman. Remember that the movie. But getting back to this whole Hobbit series thing or Lord of the Rings thing.
Right.
I would really love them to just come up with something original, like not even base it on the Peter Jackson style. Let's go in a different direction with it.
Put it in VR.
Put it in VR.
Let's call it the Oasis.
Oh, jeez. Well, let's make Lord of the Rings Go, where you walk around with your phone and you try to catch hobbits with palantirs.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be downright funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I would love even a cartoon series, honestly, because really you know how I was just ragging on people for nostalgia? Here comes the nostalgia goggles.
I was just gonna bring it. I was just gonna rain on you with that, like you effing hypocrite.
But okay, bear in mind, I'm not asking.
It's better because I realize I'm doing it.
No, because I'm not saying to bring back that particular style.
Right.
Oh, God. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Every muscle in my body is contorting and wanting to make me vomit, but maybe go anime. Oh, God.
Anime Tolkien? Woo!
Oh, God. I hated that I made myself say that.
That has to be a thing already. That has to be a thing.
Oh, I'm sure there's fan art and stuff, but not like a full-length feature.
No, I mean, that has to be. That sounds too...
But at this point...
That's a good marriage.
But at this point, it would be a good way to get experimental, at least with the storytelling style. Don't take liberties with the actual story. Stick to the source material as far as the story is concerned. But as far as how it's portrayed, the medium in which it's broadcast, that's where I would say experiment a little bit. Make it memorable. Make it fun. Give us a reason to come back to it and say, well, I really like this story, but I like this version of it.
Right. Apparently, yes, there has been a anime Lord of the Rings.
I'll have to look into it, but let me tell you something. Anime Batman, that's like one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Are you talking about Gotham Knights?
I think so, yeah. Where he gets
Really?
the bullet shield. He
that
looks
was
so stupid.
He looked like
Speaking of
Owlman.
Speaking of stupid, it's time, Couchman. I think it's time we actually get down to it.
Oh, wow, yeah. I was like, okay, if we can get this on 30, I think we'll be fine.
Right. All right. Here's the backstory. During last night's broadcast, we experienced...
Every broadcast.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
Monday.
usually every Monday broadcast, we experience technical difficulties. By the way, in case you missed it, you can still find it archived here, as well as our YouTube channel. Links available here on the page.
I killed an Ender Dragon.
This, as usual, brought up the subject of whether or not it is the job of gaming companies to provide streaming capabilities. I don't think so, and I have reasons why. Couchman and I are going to go ahead and hash this out right here now because I was like, hey, you know what? We sort of had a discussion about it. Let's see where this goes. I am going to flip a coin.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you a coin. What is the rules? You always mess the rules up.
Oh, what do you mean? How do I mess the rules up?
Because if you flip a coin, you should be able to choose. The winner should be able to choose.
I don't know where you learned that. I don't know where you picked up those rules.
Every sporting event ever.
You pick a side, and whichever side comes up, that means you win and you get to go first. That is how every dispute has been settled ever.
That's all I want to know.
That's
all I want to know.
Okay.
Here's your coin. You can flip it.
Okay. Mother flipper.
No, I don't want to hear it. That's not how everything works.
The
winner gets to choose. That's how it normally works. But
all right, call it.
I don't. Okay, so tails.
Alrighty. You go first.
I hate you.
Couchman, is it the obligation of video game companies to provide gameplay streaming service?
Absolutely.
Why?
Nowadays. Why? Because it's a bajillion-dollar industry. And it's part of your industry. That's why. Do you understand? This is I'm talking about 2014 right now. This is the long, long agos. Mm-hmm. This is before, oh my God, was Snapchat a thing in 2014? I'm not sure. Whatever. Vine was still a thing in 2014. There was a show on North Coast Underground called Loserville in 2014.
Actually, 2015.
It was just starting up in 2014. There was that sports show tapping the charts all over the place. But that's here nor there. That year's NBA Finals. That's a giant thing, right? Mm-hmm. That's a giant thing. Everybody's going to watch it, blah, blah, blah. That year's on Twitch alone, that year's Twitch MOBA championship tripled the NBA Finals. It like quadrupled the MLB Finals. It's a giant industry, and it's only getting bigger. Absolutely. Nowadays, yes.
I actually do have some data on that, Couchman.
Okay, fine.
According to TechCrunch, in 2017, the number of video game streamers numbered in at least 25,000. Compare that to the overall population of gamers the same year, which is 2.2 billion, according to the top Google search results, newzoo.com. I'm sure, however, that whatever data gathering resources they used are far more efficient than my crude, albeit effective ones. It's likely they know the number of the streamers, and from what I'm looking at here, it dwarfs the number of actual streamers, people who actually rely on streaming, is dwarfed by a considerable margin by just the number of gamers at large. So honestly, Couchman, it's kind of a niche market.
I don't think it is whatsoever. I think people broadcasting it, what you just brought up is a broadcasting number. I am more interested, my entire argument here will be for watching it and streaming it.
Well, I mean, the whole thing that brought it up in the first place was the fact that we were having trouble using it.
Right.
And one of the things that I always like to say is that it's okay because I don't consider it the video game company's obligation to me as a video game company to make it easier for me to broadcast. Is it more convenient? Sure. But one thing that I'll bring up is that it never seems to matter in the grand scheme of things because Minecraft Mondays, that's our hot ticket night. You know, that's when we rake in the viewers, baby.
Right.
So it's like I'm really not all that concerned, and I don't think all things considered that it's really all that important.
I still think it is. I think it has to become. Is it? No, it obviously isn't because we have an issue every single Monday night with it.
Yeah, pretty much consistently.
Yes.
Not every time. Sometimes I remember a long time ago we got through a full night without
long ago?
without one single problem, and I was over the moon.
Right. Right.
But by and large, yeah, it's been kind of a crapshoot.
But nowadays, in 2018, going forward, okay, yes, I don't think anybody sat there and thought, hey, this is actually going to be a legitimate, form of entertainment. Because you brought up the numbers, right? Mm-hmm. With how many people are going to be on. And I'm just talking YouTube, and this is something I had to look up for my other job.
Mm-hmm.
Within the next year, just on YouTube alone, there is going to be 23 million more users. Out of that 23 million more users, how many do you think are going to sit there and be, hey, maybe I can get easy rich and go do some Minecraft videos?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and crush that dream right now, folks. You're not going to. It's not easy money.
Oh no, it's not. It's not easy money, but that's the
money.
tendency.
Unless you're super hot or super good at your game,
or English,
or have some
British.
kind of funny accent. Norwegian works pretty well too.
Right.
Hey, it's going to play games for you.
Yeah. Right. No.
What's that guy from Death Clock?
Squigard?
I think so. I just picture him
or Toki
doing a
Toki
stream.
and Squigard. Yeah. No, but I'd watch that.
Yeah,
That'd
seriously.
be amazing. But I mean, this is the thing. It's free to do either way. You can get paid for it. It is free advertising, period, for whatever system you're playing on. Don't tell me every single game you walk up to something, the action button is either going to have a box X or O.
Well, listen, Couchman, I'm willing to concede, at least for this point, that financially speaking, yes, it's probably a good idea to at least include it, which they have. My contention is that is it really okay if I get upset and pissy with them that it's like, oh damn it, I'm having trouble streaming on your service. Your company sucks. What kind of slipshod, black, dark ages kind of crapshoot are you running here? It's like, am I really entitled to act that way?
This might kind of derail our debate. This generation, no. Next generation, damn right. It has to be a huge part of the next generation. PlayStation 5, Xbox, whatever the hell they're going to call it.
Well,
to tell you the honest truth,
I'm pretty sure people thought the same thing of 8-track tapes, Couchman, and look where they are now.
look where dumb phones are right now.
Where what?
Dumb phones, just a flip phone.
Oh.
They have to adapt. They have to go with the times.
Oh, sure.
Times is streaming. If you can sit there and all of a sudden, okay, next generation comes up, right? Let's say in what's the newest rumors on that PS5? 2019?
That it's coming out.
That it's coming out. Okay, let's just say 2019. 2019, we're getting a new generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You and I, we stream. Do I want to sit there and dump $400 into a new system that isn't going to sit there and help me stream? Or am I going to dump $400 into making a custom PC that's going to help me stream? That's what it's going to come down to.
That brings me to my other point. There exist third-party, easy to obtain third-party pieces of technology that make it possible to stream Couchman.
Absolutely.
So, and they work better, as we well know.
Yes.
So it's really not a necessary feature. It's just a bonus.
But if you can sit there, that's what I'm saying. If you can sit there and all of a sudden, especially for us, right? Especially for us. Even though we do old man games, right? We do old man games.
Yeah.
We don't need the newest, shiniest thing. But let's sit there and say all of a sudden we're getting millions and millions of subscribers, everything else. They're asking us to do more AAA games and whatever. Okay, do I want to sit there, buy the PS5, Xbox, whatever, buy the new game capture card, make sure the computer that I have can do it, or do I just want to buy a laptop? Or do I want to buy something that I can already deal with it?
I can see where you're getting at, and like I said, I already agree with you that when it comes to is it a smart business move to sort of have that in your back pocket? Absolutely, but The core of my argument still stands uncontested that it's not important to a gamer. It's not important from a gamer perspective. It's not required. It's something. It's a good idea to do if you want to keep up with trends. But for one thing, I think it's kind of short-sighted to assume that Twitch streaming is the future of entertainment. Honestly, I don't really think so. I think at some point it's going to peter off and die because sooner or later people are going to realize I'm sitting here watching people play video games. I could be doing this myself.
Right.
And what with... This is sort of me stretching just a little bit, but what with the amount of jobs that are being relegated to machines now, people are going to have a lot more free time. So they're not going to have to... The excuse that I don't really have time to play this game, so I'm just going to watch somebody play it, isn't going to be as true by then. If we're thinking... If we're going in a forward-thinking kind of direction. So I once again... must ask: is it really necessary? Is it something that you have to have in your gaming system?
Well, if you're bringing up have to have, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, do you have to have it? No. Do you have it in this current generation?
That's pretty much all I'm looking for.
Yes. Should you sit there and improve on it? Yes. Should you make it so all of a sudden I don't need to have this, $1,700 computer plus the $200 capture card that I had to get so I can broadcast off of that? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Couchman, it almost sounds like you're making a case against the PC Master Race.
No, because on the PC Master Race, I can sit there and build the computer for $700, right? Say $700. And everything is in one location.
That's a lot of bones for someone who's only got enough to buy a $400 console.
Absolutely, it is.
And as I've already established, you could still get a following when you've got the inferior console version of the streaming platform.
No, you absolutely can.
So
I mean, we are a great example of that, but it's one of those things. I think we both are on the same wavelength.
Sort of.
With this,
I still wouldn't. I wouldn't bat an eye if tomorrow PlayStation announced that, or Sony announced that, look, we're just not going to have streaming capability on our system.
Really, you wouldn't bat an eye?
Not a jot. I know everyone else probably would.
You know what that would mean for this channel?
Lots of people would be hacked off. We'd find a way around it, Couchman.
Are you drugging your ass up to the moon base? I don't want to be at the moon base more than I have to be at the moon base.
Well, see, here's the thing. we'd still have online capability. All it would require would be one of us to have a laptop, which I think it's pretty obvious that we do.
Right.
And we can just hook it up and stream it that way.
Okay. No, and again, that brings up to the point, like right now, yes, you have it, people use it, we use it. You have to improve it. You have to improve it in the next generation because you already did it. Do you need to have it? No, you didn't need to put it in the first place, but they did.
Yeah, which is why I don't see why they would improve it if it's good enough.
Is it? I
Sure.
want to be able.
Obviously, it is, Couchman. We don't seem to have much problem.
I want to be able to sit there and have. I mean, we use.
It's more just a personal.
Okay, it's free, so I mean, we're not. No one's getting paid off of this. So
Yeah.
we use OBS Studios to run our stuff. If all of a sudden the next generation sat there and said, "Hey, we're gonna do something like OBS has," and let you be able to do that stuff, but it's gonna be the PlayStation or Xbox or what have you version of it. That's awesome. They can sit there and stick their logo all over the dang place and be like, "Hey, it's the easier way to do it. Go ahead and do it."
And I would agree that it would definitely please the streamers, but as I've already pointed out, they represent a very small minority of actual gamers. So from a gamer's standpoint,
I am the Lorax. I talk for the streamers. I am the couch man. I talk for the streamers.
I mean, hey, as a streamer, I feel as though I have the perspective required to look at this in an abstract way and say, yeah, it's kind of just fluff. People were playing video games long before streaming ever even existed or was even a thought in a person's head, and we loved them.
Right.
And that is what I that is what I strive to emphasize here on this show. If I may soapbox for just a minute, Couchman.
Okay, I'll let you soapbox, but I'm going to get back in here.
Okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Right.
I just want to say that above all else, the gameplay should be paramount. Forget about your internet access. Forget about your streaming of networks like Netflix, Hulu, and etc. Forget about your Twitch streaming capabilities. Forget about your built-in editing software like the PlayStation has with its Share Factory, which I got to say, given how fundamental it is, it's still pretty impressive. You can put together some neat little videos with it. Mm-hmm. Forget all that. What's important is the games. That's the heart of it, and that's why I have this debate with you, Couchman. That's why I take such issue with it. It's like I feel like people are losing sight of what really matters.
People, possibly. Hopefully, you're done with your soapbox.
Soapbox over. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, it's
because
fine.
it was good, but this is the thing: you are on a hill that this battle is not even a mile from. Yes, I'm not talking about how. Yes, for you to buy a console, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, whatever, game should be number one. Game should be number one priority on that. If you want to sit there and stream.
Well, if I may actually defend my position on that as to why I consider it part of this fight. The hill is closer than you think, as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. Because it eats up programming. I don't know much about building games and what have you, or building systems, but I do know that it does take a certain amount of attention to create these things, and that attention is taken away from the games themselves and devoted to these little bells and whistles. That's exactly what I consider the streaming capability to be. It's not necessary. It's not vital. What's vital is the games. And when you're not paying attention to what's vital, it kind of suffers as a result. Maybe not immensely. I mean, sure, most people don't notice. But again, your kid is crying and you're more concerned with that novel that you're reading.
The kid should shut up.
Your baby is crying because he's hungry or she's hungry.
Right. Here's some SpaghettiOs. Learn how to cook.
I'm being a baby.
Right. But no. But this is no. I'm 100% agreeing with you, and I'm surprised you didn't sit there and say this is the same reason why you look back at some of the great classics, Super Mario, the first Zelda. Hell, you can go through a whole bunch of Zeldas, 2D sprites, whatever, and it's the same. What you're bringing up is more of a graphical thing to me, where it is, it needs to have the shiny new stuff.
It's not even just the graphics. It's like we're talking things like load times or just general functionality. It's like think of what we could accomplish if we focused more on that and less on making it so that you can watch Hulu
right
after you get done playing a session of Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about, and it's like it's not like I'm not some dinosaur saying that we should go back to the 8-bit days and stay there. I'm saying that we should be focusing on improving the games themselves.
No, I hear you.
And streaming just kind of not to a great degree, which is why I'm not even saying get rid of the streaming capability altogether. I'm just saying it's not necessary. And honestly, Couchman, I think we both kind of reached a happy medium there. Really, I think that you've made some solid points, and I've made some solid points. This is like, I don't know if a breakthrough has been made or we've
world peace
struck any new ground, but I think we achieved a sort of good place because right. I don't think it has to go away, but I don't think that at the end of the day I should really be pitching a hissy fit just because I can't stream my Minecraft consistently without a breakdown. It's like if that's what it takes so that you can improve my gameplay experience overall, then I'm happy to make that sacrifice, especially when you consider that like I said, Minecraft Mondays has been our big ticket item, so I'm really not all that concerned whether or not it drops every now and then. And if it does get to a point where it's like, oh well, it craps out all the time to the point where we can't do it anymore, I'll find a way around it because, like I said, the technology's there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not dependent on their system of streaming. It's just more convenient.
Right. No, I mean it does just come down to the convenience of it. I'm gonna sit there and say this with the little we've broken bread and everything spiel you just gave.
Num bread.
Yeah, right. I will sit there and say I understand where you're coming from with this generation. I can completely understand it. There's no reason to update it. There's no reason to do anything with it. Is it broken? No, it technically isn't.
No, it works.
Yeah. Could you sit there and take it away? I don't think that's going to change anything.
Oh, I know I'm a minority in that opinion. I know that people would probably be outraged. I don't think as big a number would be all that out. I think people would get by without it. It would cause an upset. It would cause people to scratch their heads. It'd be all over the standard news outlets concerning this kind of thing. Most of all, us here at Chironius TV.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I really don't think I think the world would keep on spinning in terms of video games, and people would keep right on playing them.
Right. I just think when it comes to the future, the next generation of consoles has to have it, and it has to be improved.
It has to have it in order for the games to be good, or it has to have it in order for the console to be good.
That's the better way to ask that question. Thank you so much. It has to have it to be a good console.
Well, okay, let's say that Microsoft or maybe Nintendo releases a console that doesn't have streaming capabilities.
So
However,
let's say the Switch right now, because
Switch,
it doesn't have an onboard like streaming function, at least that I haven't.
but it does well competitively with the other systems.
Right. No, again.
So that means you don't have to have it, Couchman.
Again, no, you don't. To have good games, no. But there's
or
a
to
reason.
be a good console.
Again, I am the Couchman. I speak for the streamers.
Okay, but you speak for a very small number, Couchman.
And I'm going to defend them with my life.
The kind of hill that you've been standing on is that in order to be competitive,
is more of a mogul. I understand it.
In order to make that money, you've got to have that streaming thing. But I really think that we've more or less established that's not necessarily the case. It just comes down to whether or not your system and your games are good enough. The streaming thing is just a cherry on top.
Right, and I want that cherry.
Okay.
I think a lot of people. I think the small minority of, and that's the other thing, the small minority of people that stream off of PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. Because let's be honest, the streamers, majority of them are going off of PC. Right.
Yeah, that's actually a good point in my favor.
I know, it's a great point in your favor. But if all of a sudden you just say, hey, for 400, let's sit there and say $500, you can get the PS5, the Xbox, whatever, and you're going to be able to stream that. Or, to tell you the honest truth, the only one that really affects it, because I don't see games that are exclusive to Nintendo. I'm surprised Nintendo has tried to do this a little bit more.
I have heard sort of like a rumor that they were planning on releasing streaming capabilities, but we're kind of seems like we're going in circles, Couchman. Fact of the matter is that it's I think it might be a little too presumptive to say that down the line that Twitch streaming is like the future of entertainment, because
I don't think I've ever said that.
Well, I mean, you're saying that the console has to have it in order to stay competitive. At least that's what I'm picking up amongst your other points. The problem is that once everybody has it, that means there's billions of Twitch streamers out there, which means that there's billions of competition, which would make an already saturated market of entertainment, that being the Let's Play and the Twitch stream, that much more difficult to break into. In fact, nigh impossible. So really, I think at a certain point, people are going to wake up and realize it's like, okay, this kind of sucks. To hell with this. Mom was right. I should have kept my job with the plumbers. It's going to be a rude awakening. But hey, speaking of rude awakening, it's about time to wrap things up. This has been Kyronius TV. I am your host, Kyronius. The man over there with the fire in his hair is Couchman. And we hope to see you this Thursday for Old Man Games, in which we will probably not be playing Donkey Kong. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But we'll be sure to send you a notification. Check us out on social media. Links available here on the page. We will see you next time. Later, losers.